right, I am here. Sorry that took so long. I had to wait for Patrick to get me on because, of course, for some reason, my brain refuses to remember how to do it. And I remembered, I think, everything except my USB. So give me just a second while I put all my designs on here for today. I will be right back. I have to unplug my microphone. Come on.
This gentleman, where'd he go? Yeah, running and he wants to talk to you about it.
So I am Donnie's. So I don't know
That's
where
fine.
they are. I'm almost positive you're gonna have one in your machine.
Okay,
So-
so I can borrow one from you.
Well, and I'll get one for you, but
I'll
but
let
I'm
you
unaware
know.
of where they are.
Okay,
Yeah, so go look for your secret.
This is a
Pulls
gentleman.
out towards you.
Unless you
I
have
will.
to.
It's right over here, it just pulls out
I
towards you.
believe you guys.
Oh,
All kinds of treats out of there.
Okay, good.
Well, then you forget, after 2 years, you
Did
forget.
we figure out your furniture?
Well, no, but I did. I looked at it when I went home and I know what I need. I know that, you know, how it took those.
Vicky, Patrick?
That's just one. Right here. I don't need it very big, you know, but we could use the same hook that we used on the back. This guy.
Are you Mr. Grady?
Okay, I was talking to you that whole time. Was the sound not working for you? Now I'm gonna just have to repeat everything. Oh, I know, that's Heather. Heather's calling to tell me that the sound's not working. You know what happens? I move the microphone. Like, this is what we use, so you can see. I use this, and so I grab it, and then I accidentally hit that button, and it shuts it off. And that whole time, I was telling you the secret to life. No, I'm just kidding. I wish I knew that, right? Let me make sure I'm not tangled up right now. So, interesting morning, wasn't it? I thought I'd have like a good half an hour, but we had so much to talk about this morning with changes that are going to be going on with us. But what we were supposed to do was, this was homework. So section 1 and section 3, and I did it that way because we stitched those out, and then we would have had these two done, the 2-piece stars. So then you would have only had to have done those and then the filler blocks. That was homework. I didn't get my homework done. It was just too busy. But we are going to be working on this today, section 2. So hopefully by the time we get together next week, which we're gonna do it during the week, just because Patrick is leaving on Friday night and he's gonna be gone and coming back on Tuesday, which means I'm gonna be at home with the dogs all weekend. My kids are gonna be gone too. They're gonna go on a big boy, big girl trip. They're going to Monterey with their friends. So it just gets a lot. It gets to be a lot when I'm just watching. My dogs are a lot. I feel like my other dog, I had a husky, would just hang out. These dogs, these are like children. So we're gonna work on this today. Let's start out with autumn is my favorite color. Still reeling. You know what, Betty? Don't worry about it. It's all going to be great. I don't want you to, I got to tell you, I was reeling a little bit just because it's change. And change makes, I think, everybody nervous. But it's going to be great. And we're going to come out on top with, and you know, like I said, we just look at it as an opportunity. It's an opportunity for us to get out of our comfort zone. And there's always growth in that, I think. So here are squirrels and acorns. I'm going to get out, autumn is my favorite color. So if you've never seen these are from Tula Pink. And she makes these like really big project bags. And number one, they're beautiful. Look how pretty they are. And so you feel gorgeous when you use them. You're like, oh my God, I feel so beautiful today. Is it my hair or is it my project bag? It's my project bag. And crisp apples, good books, golden horse, golden hour. Of course, it's the bottom one. So I'm going to grab this. Change is hard. Change is hard, but it's going to be great. It's going to give us an opportunity to look at some other lines that we haven't looked at. And then we still have Brother, which is going to let us keep everything, the scan and cut, the luminaire, the whole sewing and embroidery line, and then we'll figure out sergers. So don't worry about it. And if we figure out Baby Lock's the best, I still have my serger. So, and then the books. We have the books. We have the houses, the chair, the lamp. So, songbird, hay rides, embellishments. I threw them all in this. Let's pull that out in case we need it. All sports, crunchy leaves, crisp apples. Is crisp apples there? Nope. That was part of the homework. Don't look at it. Pieced pumpkin. Warm snuggles. That's the chair. Yes.
Water soluble bobbins.
There are none. You have to wind your own.
Where do you get the water?
So you can get Vanish. It's in that little basket down at the end.
Right.
Yeah, at the end.
You gotta do it yourself.
Okay, here's the houses. House, and good books. That should be everything. Of course, we're not going to get to all of that. I'll go a little bit longer today if possible because we're starting a little bit later. And I will just put this to the side. And why don't we start out with autumn is my favorite color. And if you look at our spreadsheet, autumn is my favorite color. 9.5 by 14. And I wrote in here, you've got it, the design is scooted to the left. And I brought all my thread from the Falling into Autumn thread kit. I also brought, and I like to take these when I travel, Anna gave these to me. I also brought some extra colors to kind of sprinkle in there. Because I do not like, I don't like not having the right color. It makes me angry. Does it make you angry when you go like on a retreat or somewhere and you're like, I have that at home, I don't have it here? And then I'm gonna grab my hoops. I brought my 9.5 by 14. I actually brought my 9.5 by 14 as well as the 9.5 by 14 that I stole from the store. So I'm gonna use the one I stole from the store so I can leave it here. It all looks so very organized. You know, so Betty, I hate doing, I don't hate it. I actually put on a good show. I've been watching 1923, which is so good. And I think I had room on this one, right? Or does this one go into 15.5 is for the 10.5. And then, oop, this is too big. 14.5 is for the 9.5 by 14. And I was working on this the other night too. This is for cuties, and I do think I like it better in the 8 by 12. So I've been doing these. I did the very first time I did the cuties, January's cutie, I did it in the 8 by 12, and then I saw that it fit into the 9.5 by 14. So I decided to do it in the 9.5 by 14. And I've been doing 9.5 by 14, but there was always so much extra fabric that I figured I really do like it. This one's going to be the right one. I figured I really do like it in the 8 by 12 because you don't have to scoot it. You just kind of work down to the row. You don't have to scoot the design left and right. So that was my grand experiment the other night. Okay, I'm going to hoop up. You guys have all been waiting. You have so many duplicate colors because of not having the right color away from home. I know, so that's why I was like, okay, this is going to take me a little extra time, but I'm going to find the best color. This was from the other day when we did the August table topper. So I'm going to go ahead, those up. Actually, I'm going to just snip those. Let's just snip them. Okay, scissors. And then I'll just hoop this so it'll go underneath the hoop. Wasn't this so much fun? If you were doing the cuties borders with us, and I think it was Cindy Lehman who told me that she just left it all one piece. And I was like, that was so much easier and so much of a better idea. And I just love when you have suggestions and, you know, I don't know. Sometimes I just keep doing it my way, and sometimes I'm like, just because, I don't know. You know, sometimes you're set in the ways. But this, I just absolutely loved it. Saves so much time, so much easier to hoop. You don't have to be as careful, worrying that your foot's going to go underneath. I'm going to hoop this up. Leaving this embroidery on allows us to not like waste. So I like to just scoot this up so maybe a little bit of showing, just a little. That to me is like perfect. I can see a little bit of that fabric. But if you cut it off, then you're going to be, then you're going to be wasting what's ever up here on the top, like this. So what is that, like 3 or 4 inches? If you do it this way, you know, you don't really waste it all. So I'm going to hand tighten. This is my process. Hand tighten. Then pull out all the bubbles so it's nice and smooth. And then grab your hoop tightener and tighten it just a little more. Just to where it's comfortable, but never where you're like cranking it, because you can break all this stuff in here. And if you ever break it, don't worry. You can send a test. We can fix it. Or if you're local, you can just come in. See how it's still easy to turn, but it's so much easier to grab this with your whole hand than to just use your fingertips, especially for those of us who our fingertips are getting weaker. I notice it in my hands. Like sometimes my hands feel weak. Like I'll wake up in the mornings and my hands will feel sore if I've been like doing a lot of cutting, or like hands are important. You just don't realize how much you use them until you lose them. All right, I'm gonna slide this hoop on, or let me just put it here just in case there's something on my screen. And I'm gonna move this so I can see your comments. So you can not be scared, Betty. Don't be scared. Everything's gonna be fine. Mama will take care of you. Yeah, we sell those, Deanna. It's called the Advanced Hoop Screwdriver. And I want to say it's on the site. There's like $17.99 and there might be on the site for $15.99. Let's go into embroidery. I already have a bobbin in there. Let me see if I have a... Looks kind of empty. Just so we don't have to change it right away. Let's change it out. Or they've got to get used up at some point, right? Let's use it. So when I'm at home, I'll just use up my bobbins. And let's grab this spreadsheet. We're gonna look at the book too, because I've been paying attention to what's different with this is some of these want you to do the quilting stitch at the end. And we are gonna be doing Autumn is my favorite color. So here's our week 2, page 19. I sent out this spreadsheet. I thought everyone had gotten it, but I realized so many people haven't gotten it. If you're not on my Falling into Autumn email list, send me a note and I will add you. Hello, I'm new here. And is muslin instead of stabilizer used in all? No, if you look, they will call for a light mesh cutaway. And for any quilt that has batting and it has like, you stabilize the background fabric, I always use muslin. I've always used it because I like the way it feels. It's like softer, it's not as plasticky. I would never use it just as a stabilizer because it really doesn't offer any support, but if you're I use it as a base when there's batting and when there's a background fabric on it. At this point, I think it might be cheaper. We sell the 90-inch muslin at the store, and it's $10.99 a yard, and it goes a long way. So try it. I think you'll love it. If you hate it, just keep using your no-show mesh, your light mesh cutaway. So let me go home, and we are going to put in... We want Autumn 3 in your 8, which is an 8x10 design. The reason we have to bump up to the 9.5 by 14 inch hoop is because when you put in the quilting design, it adds half an inch. So it bumps us out of the 8x12. So we're going to do quilting, and we are doing Autumn 3. Here it is. There you are. I didn't pull out. Usually I'll just pull out my PES designs, but I didn't this time. Look at those adorable pumpkins. Let's go ahead and set it. And I like to choose my hoop size too. So we're going to go here to your settings button. And let's choose 9.5 by 14 or whatever hoop you're using. I want to make sure all my settings are right. Black is default. If you change them, see how this changes? Now I'm at 800. It's in white. I always change them back. If you ever change it, make sure you change it back. Embroidery foot height, make sure you're at default right now. That can ruin things. It can make your thread shred if you're too high. So change that back. And now you have your perimeter. You can see how much space you have. Don't move it yet. Let's go ahead and add the other design, which is Autumn is my favorite color. Autumn is my favorite color. Falling for Autumn quilt. And sometimes I have to remind myself to breathe. I get all worked up when I'm like rushing. Set. Oh, and it did want you to align it differently. Design scooted to the left. Not quite sure if that is, I don't know why I wrote that. Look at this. That is wrong. That's wrong. I need to change this. Get rid of that. That is not correct. You just want it centered. I will change that in the spreadsheet and I'll reload it. And I'll send an email out. I don't know why that is written in there. Where are my pens? You do not want to scoot it. You just want it centered. See this? That's wrong. Centered. We will fix that. I'll fix that in the supply list. But you are just going to center, and after quilting, so we are going to do our quilting first. That looks perfect. Don't move it here. They'll move individually unless you group them. We're going to touch embroidery. And just to conserve even if you're using no-show mesh, I would say don't cut your no-show mesh or your light mesh cutaway. Leave it on the roll. And that way you can conserve that too. Stabilizer is expensive and it keeps getting more expensive. We're going to take this combined design. Once you're on this page, your embroidery page, your layout page, now it'll be combined and it'll move as one. And if you put your hoop on, I'm going to slide on my hoop, it won't let you go out of your embroidery field. So here's my hoop. Here's my hoop. We're going to slide it on. Once it's on, now you can scoot it mindlessly. You can just hit that up arrow and it won't allow you to go up beyond. See, it just stopped and it gave me a knock knock. It said that's as far as you can go. We are ready. I'm going to say okay so I can see if you touch layout or edit, depending on your machine. Now you can see what's stitching out. And we are going to do the first stitch out, which is going to be placement for the batting. Our batting is pre-cut. If you prepped it the way it said to prep it, it means, well, no, if you prep it like how we prep it when we do our pre-class prep. First color that's going to make a difference is going to be the quilting. So we want to look at the background fabric. Our background fabric, this is all our goodies. These should all be stabilized with Shape Flex. Or Kimberbell sells a fusible backing. And here is this. And I think this fabric here is just coconut cream. And make sure you're putting on the right side because the coconut cream is a little bit creamier. This is going to be the Shape Flex side. Do you see that? Look at that. Trapped dark thread in there. He'll probably get taken out, but I'm going to pull him out right now. And I think we're good. I'm going to put linen in. You can put in a color that you can see, but I like to play it safe. However, I was looking at one of my embroideries going, oh, I should have used a color. You know what I'm jealous of? I'm jealous of all of you that did the July table topper with the ants in black and red. Because everyone that I see have that posted, it looks so good. And I'm like, I wasn't willing to take the chance. I have no idea what needle I have in here. So we might change it out. But I like to embroider with a Midori anti-glue needle. I think we're ready. Let's hit start. This is going to give me, tell me where we're going to put the batting. This is placement for your batting. I'm going to use my spray tent. Here's my handy dandy dime spray tent. We sell these at the store too. Here's my batting. You want to put your batting right side up. So the bumpy side is the side that you are going to spray. Just feel it. This is smoother. This is the bumpy side. I'm putting it in my spray tent, just like this, and let's give it a little spray. Don't get crazy. This is not Aquanet. This is not your hair in the 80s. Remember? Remember how big everyone tried to make their hair? Oh my God. My middle school friend sent me a picture of us, a bunch of us from middle school, and I had a perm, and it was really bad. And then I'm like, I needed some fashion help, but my mom had a perm too. I think everyone had a perm in the 80s. That's just what we did. We are also going to spray the background fabric too. No, okay, look at your fabric one more time. Get out anything that's going to shadow. This is my Shape Flex side. I use Shape Flex. I just buy it by the bolt. And if you want to buy a bolt, if you buy a bolt, it's about $100 $150. I think it's a little bit more than that. And I give you 30% off. And it's just Pellon Shape Flex 101. Here we go. And the next step, orange. Turquoise is placement, orange is tack down. We already have the batting cut to size, so we don't need the tack down. To go forward and backward steps, you're going to touch this button, which is the needle with the minus plus. This will go forward to the next step. This will go back to the previous step. That is turquoise, placement for the background fabric. We don't need that. We already placed our background, and this is tacked down for our background. We do want that. We're going to do that. And then if you look here with the green where there's a lot of stitching, that's going to be your quilting. So let's go ahead and do this. Yes.
So I literally just called to come in to be like, have all this warranty product for vacuums
Yeah.
that I ordered, you know, the first week of July. Like I put all the warranties in on July 1st. I'm like, can you give me an ETA on this product? Because I haven't seen it ship. And I was talking to Lauren. And Lauren's like, yeah, like we let all but one person go in that department. And they're at least 30 days out on even like looking at warranty. Like you're probably 30 days plus out before they ship that product.
Are we still going to be able to do warranty work? Are they going to recover?
Yeah, but I'm like, really? I'm gonna wait 30 days just for somebody to look at supporting the product? It's like all the answer you need.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! Look at that pumpkin! Is that so sweet with his little curly stem?
1240.
I love it. Is there a way to find out the number of the colors that are used in this project if you don't have the book? The numbers of the colors. Well, okay. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can look up the numbers. So, was it Dwana? Dwana sent me the most incredible spreadsheet. And so I don't know if she's on today, but I sent her a note asking if she'd be okay if I share that with you. Maybe I can just show it to you. And then if she's okay with me sharing it, I'll post it on the site. But it doesn't tell you like what's used. It tells you the thread colors that are used for the project. But not each block individually. So I'll show it to you. She sent me a couple of them, and one of them I really loved, and I think it's because it had all the colors in it. So I really, really like that one best. Where is her email? Isn't it so crazy how quickly it's already on the next page? Let me go to the next page. Here it is. This was the one I really liked. So if you look at this, do you see it? So it shows, like, for instance, right here is the newest project, Falling for Autumn. And then it has, like, just this little grid check sheets, check off. So you can see Warm Grade 4 is there, and then, but it has all the projects, like Shout Hooray, Revelry, Solids, Oh So Delightful. So that's going to tell you what thread colors are used. And then I think we've just kind of been adding in to this spreadsheet. And again, this is like my suggestions. Sometimes my suggestions aren't the best suggestions. And I think a testimony to that is the July table topper, where a lot of you used like red or black for the ants, and it was so much cuter than mine and made me jealous. But for this one, I did put in linen. And we can change them as we go too. But this is what I put in for the thread color. And then we're going to use different colors for the embroidery itself. But how cute is that? This is one of the, you know what I don't know what to do? I have so many quilting designs that I've gotten from Kimberbell at this point, and like I hope that when I go to do my quilting and I want something with pumpkins, I'm going to remember that this quilting design is called Autumn 3. How am I going to remember that? I don't know how to organize it. Telling us to lower the houses and trees. You know what, Deanna? You are so right. I feel like they should do that. And every time I talk to my, like, that should come in as one design. The background quilting and the embroidery, I feel like that should be one design. You just bring it in and you don't pay for that, or whatever. Make me pay $10 extra to have all the included quilting designs that go with this. I'd be down for that. But to make you buy the quilting bundle in addition to the embroidery design, I get it. I totally get it. Oh, this is cute. Okay, let's go back here, because after it's done with this, we're going to go into the embroidery, and we're going to need, I have the red that I brought, so, and I think this is going to be Marlin. So I think I brought Wildflower, or you know what? It could be Pinot. Let me grab that. And Renata, you are lucky to have that gorgeous curly hair. Maybe it's Cranberry. I actually didn't bring Wildflower as like one of my favorite reds. This doesn't look like, this looks like orange to me. Okay, first is going to be burnt orange. So let's get our thread. This is the thread that we're going to use with the blocks. So you want burnt orange. Then we're going to do Marlin. Next is the green, which they want you to use herb. This I think is tea berry. Here's tea berry. And then the last color is ginger. I mean, do you want me to add that into the spreadsheet, the colors that we're using? So I could add that in if you want. If you want to, like, but these are the colors I think are going to be the ones that they're really requesting. And I can add that in if you want. So for the embroidery, we're going to be using burnt orange, Marlin, herb, tea berry, and ginger. And a bunch of my distributors are now, they're now carrying the glide thread, so I don't necessarily have to buy it directly from Have & Dash anymore. Yeah, it should be all part of it. I totally agree with that, Miss Brenda and Gianna. And that's one of those things where you just keep writing them. Like, you know, they'll send you things that they ask for suggestions. And where, you know, you say, this to me should be one design. I'm going to cut that because we went ahead and finished that bobbin. Yay. Let me get a new bobbin. Hopefully I have them. Oh, here they are. I've ordered boxes of bobbins. I would get a box of bobbin. At this point, I think they're like $60 for a box, but it comes with 80 of them. This is from Habdash or Glide or Quiltech or whatever you want to call them. And I mean, you know, I just go through them. And the first box of bobbins I ever got, I got them with sage. You know, you can kind of see right here where it's coming out. So, and we split them. And I don't need to split anymore because I think that's it right here. Which way? Oop. Let's get another one that's easier. This one's easier. I'm going to go back 10 stitches just so it overlaps a little bit. So to do that, you're gonna see, I'm gonna return and just hit -10. If you're not on this screen, it's this one again. So just touch that, -10, okay, and let's finish up our stitching. So Susan prints off her cover sheet of the quilting design and puts it in 3-ring binder and not on top of the page. Not on top of the page. Which USB stick I put it on. Yeah, this time I think I actually, oh, Susan. So, you know, they sent me I think I put it in the, did I add it to the back? I thought I added it to mine. I actually just printed it because they sent the dealer they sent us the nativity bench pillow, and thread colors. I thought I printed off I didn't print off the page with the quilting, or wasn't it in here? I didn't print it off. I just found it this morning, and you're just reminding me that I didn't put it in there. But that's smart. And there's just, you know, good way to stay organized. Yeah, Deanna, I know you had talked to Michelle about that, about cutting the scan and cut for us right now. And quite honestly, I like hand cutting it. And at some point, I'm going to learn how to do my cutting, and I will do it. But for right now, we're not going to do. She could cut it for me, like maybe we would do a project, but I don't think we're going to do that. Not right now, but maybe at some point. There are times like that sunflower that would have been nice to do on the scan and cut. So maybe, like, but for the most part, a lot of them are like quick and easy, and I don't mind just cutting them. But yes, maybe we'll do one. Maybe we'll do nativity, where she and I do a collaborative, and she cuts my pieces for me. Maybe she could show me. Maybe we'll do like we'll do a class where she and I cut, and that way you could see a newbie, somebody that's not really great at this, do the whole thing. I think that's a good idea. I don't think we'll do every project, but I think that would be really smart for us to do one together. And maybe that'll be the one, the nativity. The orange and the blue are these gator colors? These are the gator colors, the blue and the orange, Miss Janet. I just love this. This is probably one of my favorites. I love tendrils. I love like little curly cues. I'm going to talk to her, Deanna. I like the idea of that. Where's Michelle? I'm going to talk to her about that, and we'll do that together. Okay, we are going to start doing our applique. And this is just going to be like what Deanna was talking about. You can get a scan and cut, and you can use the SVG files, and you can have the machine cut for you, which I think, you know what it is, Deanna? I'm resistant to change. That's really what it comes down to. Well, there's a level of learning that's involved. And so it's not that I'm so resistant to change. I think if I didn't work and I didn't have anything really going on, I would take the time. But for right now, it's fast for me to just do it like this. But I really do. Sometimes I need to be forced into it. And I read your thing and I go, you know what? Yes. Yes. I need to learn. Okay, here's my seat. I'm going to just take these and pop them all in my spray tent and give them all a shot of spray. This is going to be so adorable. Here we go. Face down. You want shape flex side, face up. What if you didn't put shape flex on it? It's going to be fine. I wouldn't even bother. What you don't want, I think the shape flex, you want the shape flex because it'll give body. And the other thing it does is it helps avoid shadowing. So if you had like a dark fabric on the, like your background fabric was like a dark shape fabric, you would absolutely want to shape flex it so you don't have that shadowing, but this is going to be fine. We are doing a dark color on a light color. So grab your orange. That's going to be the first to go down. And you need a good pair, I'd say, of double curved scissors. And the reason you want to use double curved scissors, it allows you to get really close to the stitch. And so when you use double curved scissors, let me grab mine. I have the store ones. So we carry, I think these are the 6-inch. You want one curve to go over the edge of the hoop. That's this first curve. And the other curve allows you to get really close to the stitch. This is the 4.5 inch. So there's two different, for my first like couple years, this is all I had. And then I added these. I love them both equally. They're like children and you love them for different reasons. I'm just gonna scoot this back towards me and let's go ahead and trim this. The other thing I'll use are my snips. The only problem with these is sometimes it's almost too close. I do snip the thread sometimes because that's how close. You can't get as close with a pair of straight scissors. There we go. What I've learned from doing these sew-alongs too, because I try to keep my hoop on if possible, is I'm like a contortionist. I didn't realize I could turn my hand in the directions I can turn them. I also love these have been I love my titaniums, but these have the blades on these are a little bit longer. This is from Mori, and these are, they're their snips, the just silver ones. So I've actually been using these a little bit longer, plus I've misplaced my titaniums. C is done. Now it wants to do the decorative stitch. Just go ahead and put your foot back down and just hit start. You're right, Deanna. That should be one design, and then we wouldn't have to worry about the background quilting, and the design should all be one. Then you don't have to worry about the placement. Coffee, where's my coffee? I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab my coffee.
But I'll catch back up.
Okay. All right, sorry. Here I come. If you could see me now, I'm crawling under a table to avoid cords. Okay, we're going to put our marlin in. That is the next color. Marlin. Marlin. All right, just go ahead and do your placement, and then you're gonna grab your blue. We're gonna do our gator colors today. kind of excited, Deanna, to do the scan and cut, not by myself, but with Michelle. We'll just do a separate prep video. And like, I'll be on there to be like, okay, I've never done this. I've used my scan and cut, and I've cut out the pieces for French roses. And I loved it. It was so incredible. I bet I will absolutely love cutting out Nativity. I should have brought it with me, like the little book to show you. How hot is it in Florida, Miss Janet? It was hot when we were in at the Gorge in Washington State. I'm sure it was, well, I'm not sure, but I don't think it was as hot as Florida, but it was pretty steamy. This is using, I call it the Kimberbell stitch, which is kind of that like little star stitch around this. So you want to get nice and close. Otherwise the little threads kind of stick out. We do also want to get inside of this C as well. So just kind of stick the tip of your scissors in and be ginger. Make sure you get through both layers. I can't tell if I'm through one or both. I'm gonna check. I love my sewing.
That textured fabric. I love that.
So
textured fabric.
Deanna wants us to cut our scan and cut pieces, and I don't think I can do it for all of them, but maybe you and I could do Nativity together. What do you think?
Okay.
I'd be kind of excited to cut my piece. I've never done it, so it'll be good. It'll force me to do it.
Some of that nubby stuff you could cut pretty easy with the rotary cutter too.
Did you hear that, ladies? Nubby stuff on the rotary cutter. So if we did this beforehand on the scan and cut, I would just be grabbing these pieces. I think Michelle does like a click or two, like 2 or 3 clicks bigger. I actually like enjoy this part. I didn't enjoy the sunflowers because it just took a long time. Like little stuff I really enjoy. The stuff that takes a long time I don't enjoy as much because I'm like, I don't have time. Here we go. There's our C. And then we are going to do the L, and the L is going to be on the herb. What's everyone working on? I know some of you are at work and just have me on in the background, but I know some of you are working on other stuff. Deanna, did you say you're at work? How about you, Miss Pamela Graham and Miss Susan? Oh, just had a. And when you're going through thick stuff, if your thread breaks, it is okay. It's okay that your thread breaks sometimes. You just don't want it breaking all the time. And then you start to rule things out. Like you change your needle, you check your thread path. This is a thick stitch. I'm not even going to go back 10. Sometimes I'll slow it down a little bit. My needle on here might need to be changed, so I might put a microtext, either an 8012 microtext or a 7511 anti-glue needle. Those are my favorites. Miss Janet, what are you working on? What are you working on, ladies? Okay, herb. And then I always think it's I always like, because sometimes some of you come on to the feed, but I don't know who's here. Some of you will just say, oh, I was watching. I know all of you ladies and gents, even if I don't know you ladies and gents. So Patrick was, when we went up to the gorge, he and Kai did that mountain biking trip, and he drove through Sisters. So he was in Sisters while they were doing the giant quilt show, and he thought he saw some people. I thought that was so funny. He went to a restaurant and he saw some ladies there. And did anyone see Patrick and my son up in Sisters, Oregon? So we're just doing placement, tack down, trim, and then decorative stitch. Placement, tack down, trim, and then decorative stitch. I'm gonna move this out of the way so I have room for my hands. And I love, I absolutely love snips, because I feel like they're easy on the hand. You just like, you're just squeezing. Okay, decorative stitch. My chat window is not refreshing unless nobody's made any comments. Hey Patrick, did you put this into the Facebook page? No. Next color up is going to be the tea berry. So if anyone wants to get the thread set for the nativity pillow, that is on the website, and I think I did it at 20% off because it was such a big thread set, and I always feel like I totally feel for you guys. So I can also order you colors a la carte, which is what I did. I went through and just ordered all the colors I didn't have, and there were a decent number of them. It's like, not as painful when you just order a little bit at a time, which is what I've been doing, because I have a ton of Isacord, but I do like having the glide colors. But this was a new color for me, tea berry. Tea berry, burnt orange, and ginger. I didn't have any of those. Okay, let's go ahead and lay this down. I've already sprayed mine. It's a genie here. Do me a favor, will somebody throw in a comment? I just want to know, like, my chat doesn't... Live chat. Oh wait, it's fixed now. Okay, let me go back and look. I haven't seen any of these. Oh wow, I'm all the way back to. Please continue to do the same method that you use now. Don't want to get into the scan and cut business. You know, most likely I'll just keep doing the same thing, and that way it doesn't like affect like time with most people that don't have the scan and cut. But I think it would be really fun for us to do the scan and cut. Like for those of you that have it and maybe you've been scared to use it, or there's a lot of people that aren't scared and they use it all the time and they cut all their applique pieces. I've told you, like, I struggle with my hands a little bit. So it could be easier on me, like, after a whole day of sewing. And, you know, I thought, like, I didn't think that was something that happens, like, in your 50s. I didn't know that my hands might hurt. So, but I might try it. Okay, now I can see everyone's comments. I can't always be, it can't always, not everyone has the giant hoop. That is true, Curtis. So yeah, not everyone has the giant hoop. So it would be nice if like maybe they made an option that I'd be fine if they charge me a little extra for that. Like I get it. Somebody's designed it. Somebody's done the digitizing. It would be nice if they included that background, or maybe, yeah, Curtis, thanks for bringing that up. And it is nice that you can still do these projects and have like a 5x7 or a 6x10, and you can do the multiple hoopings. There we go. That's what I do get. Another one, and then using a magnifying glass to find the leader. I think you did it on the last one. What did I do on the last one? I don't even remember. I'm just seeing these messages right now because they weren't popping up. The scan and cut is time consuming. So do you feel like the scan and cut, I've always thought that too. Is it consuming to cut these pieces, because you would prep them all like this and then put it down? Is it time consuming? But if you have all your applique pieces prepped, then you would just be putting them down and pulling the design on, right? Wouldn't it just be like that? Okay, decorative outline stitch.
Oh, the accolade.
Yes, Alice, we can use the designs we have, but that's not as fun as the new ones. You know what they do is they make like these adorable, cute designs that are totally tailored for this. Like when we did Sweet as Pie and they had like pie designs. But maybe we should do that. Maybe one of these we should boycott, and we should just, together as a group, go through the designs we have and just use those. Like maybe that would be good for us to think and plan. Who wants to do that either? It's so much easier to just buy the set. Oh no, Susan. Don't save every scrap. I've been talking about it. It's my therapy to try and like throw things away. Because you know I like hoard. So every time I throw something away, I'm like, I feel like it's like an improvement with my mindset that I just need to keep everything. But the other thing I realized is I was just born that way because my son does it. My son, it's bad with him too. Because, okay, I'm going to put ginger in. I'm putting in my ginger. He will, because he doesn't like to waste food. So he will stuff himself. You know, Patrick and I at this point are like, you don't have to eat that. And he doesn't want to waste the food. But he doesn't want to waste anything. And, you know how you have kids and you raise them the same and they're completely different because they are who they are. So I was just born. I was born this way, flaws and all. Okay, you're gonna do the placement, and this is ginger that I just put in there. How many yards of Shapelex come on a bolt? I have to buy pre-pandemic, and I don't even know if they still sell it this way. They used to sell 10-yard bolts, but I can't even get those anymore. As far as I know, it's 25 yards.
Noreen Jackson stuff?
Oh, can you just give her a just one of the Winter Wonderland kits? They're in the box in front of the Kimberbell stuff. So 25 yards. All right. Let's put this down. Whoops, sorry. Hitting my embroidery. Filming arm. You know, I'm kind of ambidextrous with cutting. I'm a righty. So I do everything with my right hand except for cut. I cut with my left hand. And my mom said when I was in kindergarten, the teacher spoke to her about the fact that I was cutting with my left hand and that she was like concerned about it. And my mom was like, who cares? It's paid for. Yeah, it's paid for. Thanks for checking, Michelle. And so I think I cut pretty well with my right hand because I'm right hand dominant. So my right hand's, you know, pretty good with stuff. But it does help if you can cut with both hands. But if you're taking your hoop off and like spinning it around and cutting, you don't have to be able to cut with both hands. But since I leave my hoop on my machine, if you want to do that, because I think it does save time, it does help to be able to cut with both hands. I always tell like this story when I went to kindergarten, because I started kindergarten when I was 4.5, so I was always younger. And my mom brought me to kindergarten when it started, and they told her to bring me back the next year. They said I was too young, and she just left me there. And I don't know, I don't know if she didn't understand, or if she was just pretended she didn't, or if she was just like, because my mom never struck me as the type that like, that just did what, my mom I always thought was more like a rule follower. But maybe she wasn't. And that's the story of how I started school. Hey, Michelle? Or Lori or anyone? I think there's something else for Noreen on the shelf.
Yeah, it was a USB thing.
Okay, she got that too?
And she got it and I wrote it down.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We got it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it could be fast on the scan and cut if you have everything pre-cut and pre-stabilized like we do anyways. Those colors are amazing. Okay, now we're going to do the pretty Kimberbell stitch around it. Have you ever used Kimberbell branded ones? So, Curtis, are you talking about the Kimberbell branded scissors? Because I have never used that scissor set just because I've already had all of those scissors. So the answer to that is no. So I have no opinion.
This is my pile. Can I start scrapping them? Or putting them together in scraps like we're doing down the other table? And the bigger pieces, can I run them off or what? Put them back if I can. Order them. Go through it and we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna do that now.
Yes, I'm gonna let you. I trust you.
Okay.
I've seen too many bloggers that start as quilters and birds pushing of using scan and cut. Oh, do you feel like that's been a big push? Is just using Scan and Cut? Scan and Cut takes planning, which, as you've learned from working with me, sometimes I'm not as planned as I would like to be. Oh, Renata, I dream about using my Scan and Cut to do vinyls. Michelle has some really fun classes coming up. Okay, after you do this, now you're going to stitch out autumn. This is going to be the brown. That's one color I didn't have that I had to order was the dark brown. So I've been using brunette, which I really, really like. So I'm going to use brunette for this. And it's funny because they show it in 2 different colors. But I think I'm going to use brunette for both of these. You could use... And it looks like the same here. It looks like brown, brown. And then we're going to be done with this one. Let's move it, and then we'll move on to the next. Wouldn't it be nice if we just stitched all day? I'm just going to tell Patrick I'm unavailable. Unavailable, Patrick. Going to be stitching. Is this my glide? Is this white? This looks like my glide. Your bowl is 30 yards. You'll use it. 30 yards is great. Oh, Michelle, I haven't talked to you in forever. Think about Janome. Okay, so you want to know about Janome? We were a Janome dealer. And we were one of their top dealers in the country. But we had issues with their embroidery machines, and we could give you more for your, because remember, we're always looking to make sure we get you the best machine, because we always look at this as like a long-term relationship. We want you guys to be happy and have the best. So we could give you more for your money on the low end with a Baby Lock or a Brother machine. And, you know, I went to a Baby Lock Janome training, and I was a Janome girl for a while. I had the 15,000, I had the 9400, or the Elna version, which was the 830. I went to the last training I went to was in San Antonio, and it was the Baby Lock, I'm sorry, the Elna Janome training. And I got all excited because they talked about all the improvements they'd made to the 15,000. We did our stitch out, and when I turned it over, I just had all this tension issue. And so the BP had talked to me because they wanted to know why we weren't selling more, because we had sold so many. And I said, well, you know, this is the issue we've had that you're telling us isn't an issue. And I showed him my embroidery, and the gal next to me had the same issue. And that was kind of it, because we knew, like, that it was so good with the Baby Lock and the Brother machines. That the embroidery is so good, the technology was so good. But we really liked the kind of the high-end sewing. But even that, Patrick took my 830, my Elna 830, and told me to take home an Aria to work on it. And, you know, I felt like I had more power. I didn't have to assist, which I felt like I've been doing on my 830. And, you know, there's things I really, really love about that machine. But overall, I really love the Baby Lock and Brothers, but, you know, not having the Baby Lock is going to give us an opportunity to maybe try out some other lines and see where it's at. I don't think Janome is going to be a line that we'll bring back, though. And that's nothing to say if you have a Janome, you love it. I want you to keep loving it. oldest teacher told me my both and was trying to get him to be a right. Yeah, Shannon, I don't even know what the big deal is if you want to use both hands or one hand or a right hand or a left hand. Shannon, the hoop I'm on right now, this is the 9.5 by 14 that I stole from the store. Yeah, I just have to remember to leave it here. So Alice says she doesn't like the Kimberbell scissors. The blades are too thick. Does anyone else have them and have an opinion about them? What else do you think about the Kimberbell scissors? I had one person tell me that they weren't crazy about the Kimberbell scissors, but I have other people that love them. So I don't want to, and I don't have them, so I don't want to have an opinion about them. You know, we talk to a lot of the dealers, like when we go to Baby Lock Tech or Back to Business with Brother. That's our opportunity to meet other dealers around the country and hear about what they think about other lines. I've heard, you know, we've heard some good things about some of the Bernina quilting machines. That's something that we've thought about looking into. Okay, while this is stitching, next embroidery we're going to do is let's go ahead and do good books. We're going to do that in the 5x7 hoop, so I'm going to hoop up some muslin. Look at all my undecideds. Like I couldn't decide what color I was going to use, so we're just going to like write them in. But I'm going to go ahead and hoop up my 5x7. Okay, I'm hooped and ready. What brand of snippers do you use? So those little silver ones I'm using right now, and I'm a pretty big Fermori fan. These are actually, I think they're Havels. And I have or Havels, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. And I think I bought more of these and I have them in the store because I love them so much. But I also love the titanium ones, and I use those a lot. The blade on this is a little bit longer, and I think because of that, it's a little bit stronger too. So that's kind of what I've been using. Miss Marlene, I will go through your stuff today. Yeah, and if you want, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll send it out today. So I'll either call you or I'll send you like an email. After the sew along, I'll get that taken care of. OESD. So it's interesting that you say that about OESD because a lot of the codes, like the part number, the item number, is exactly the same as Fermori. I'm pretty sure Fermori makes those scissors. Like Fermori definitely makes the Tula Pink scissors. They're exactly the same, and the part numbers are like the same. And then they're just rebranded. But that being said, I did get like the 6-inch double curved OESD ones, and then the 6-inch double curved Fermori ones, and people liked the Fermori ones better. So I think even though the part number is the same and the description's the same, the scissors can be a little bit different. Renata, I'm reading your comment right now. circa 1890s. Left-handed was the devil's work. Oh my goodness. Koreans do that kind of stuff too. They make you like kneel on grains of rice. They like hit you on the back of the on your calves with like sticks. There was a lot of beating back in the day. All right, we've got, this was 19 minutes of stitching for this autumn. So we've got some time. While it's doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and press out some of my other blocks that I still haven't finished. And you know, I never washed this out. This is the topper. I'm gonna go do that in the bathroom. See, I might not be right here, but I'll be back. I've always had Berninas. I do think... So Alice, I talked to like one of my good friends who's a Bernina dealer down in Southern California, and I asked her about it. I was like, you know, I've heard things, like some good things about them. She said she has them, but she doesn't sell them as much because she said they're expensive and they're big. So, but I don't know anything about it. It was just like an exploratory conversation. I had another conversation with a dealer that we're friends with in California, more the Sacramento area, who talked about juki sergers. That there's juki sergers that are self-threading, and they're in between. They don't have anything quite like the Triumph, but they're in between maybe like a Victory and an Acclaim. So we'll look into it. For now, I love my Triumph. So, and I couldn't live without it. So, and if you have one, if you have Baby Lock stuff, they're still wonderful. We don't want you to think that they're not wonderful. We love them. Urban Threads had a lovely machine, embroidery, quilting design inspired by Hocus Pocus. I love Hocus Pocus. Cheryl, I actually dream about cutting all my pieces because I think there's like over 1,000 quilting pieces for Hocus Pocus. And so it was a dream of mine to cut all my pieces on there, which I haven't done yet. So Marlene has a little bit of all the scissors. She's got Kimberbell scissors. She's got Femori, which she loves, and OESD. I don't have any Kimberbell ones, but I have OESD and Femori, and I have a couple of the Havel scissors. And I have some of the, people love the Perfect scissors too. Self-threading, Renata, is where it's at. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my iron, and we'll press out some of these blocks, too. Let me go ahead and get that ready. Let's tidy up a little bit because we have time. Alright, as far as blocks, I like to spray from the back. I like a little bit of moisture. So if you want to spray best press, or just like if you want to just, use water. So I'm just going to give it a little shot of spray from the back. I have my back to the mic, so hopefully you can hear me okay. And then I like to look at the front and go, okay, my fabric is directional. So I'm not going to be moving my iron in all different directions. And I call myself an aggressive presser. So I'm going to make sure I press in the direction of the stripes. And then I will, make sure everything else is pressed right. What you really want is you just want this to lay flat. And I think you can see the ripples already. Don't trim it first because as you press your fabric, it's going to move a little bit. I'm just waiting for this to be all heated up. These are the Panasonic irons. They're my favorite. I just got a new Oliso though that I also love. Okay, here we go. I like to use my body weight. So the camera's kind of in my way, but I'll use my body weight to kind of make it not as hard on my shoulders. You do want to, I think you want to press into a wool mat. The other thing I have is I have an OESD press cloth, which we should have one back here too, but I'm not seeing it. Michelle might have it on the other side. And that looks really, really great. Then we're going to go ahead and cut it down. So I'm going to take this. And I like to like press everything and then I'll cut everything down all at once. This has to dry. But I just took this and it might have some, this might, I got it pretty wet just to get rid of that, what I've learned about this sweater material, you have to be careful with it. Because it's kind of delicate. I've done some scratching at it and like pulled it a little bit. But I'm just going to let this dry a little bit. I might not necessarily block it, but maybe give it a little bit of a stretch. What's good is you're going to have room outside of this that you can, outside of the line. Remember, this line is a suggestion. Don't cut on that line. You're going to cut to the measurements. And I'm just going to take this and put it to the side. This is so cute. One of my favorite all-time blocks ever. Now it wants you to stitch out is my favorite. I'm just going to leave the brown in there and just let it stitch. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Alice. I don't have any experience with that Bernina serger, but I would like to check it out. Sent you an email if you didn't find. So, Annetta, I was going to order you one of those 5x7 hoops. So, confirm with me whether or not she wants that or not, because if she doesn't, let me know. Okay, let's talk about the Aliso irons. I talked to my checker rep, and that's where I buy my Aliso irons. And I said, I've had an iron. My Aliso went bad. I go, do you hear that? Is that something that you hear dealers talk about? And she said she hadn't heard that, but that she was going to bring it up at their next meeting. That being said, I've talked to some other people where their Alisos have gone bad. I did troubleshooting with somebody in tech at Aliso, and it seemed to fix my problem, but it was temporary. So, and I don't know if I did it again, if that would fix it, but I said, whatever, I need an Aliso, I need that lift because my shoulders, I have bad shoulders, I think. So lifting an iron up, a bigger iron, and then putting it down, it can hurt my shoulders. So I that's another reason I love the Panasonic, because it's small and it's mighty. But I don't believe you're ever going to get as good a press and an iron with something that's cordless as you will with something that's corded. So if I'm really ironing large pieces of fabric, then I do like using my Aliso. But 9 out of 10 times, my Panasonic is enough, and it does an amazing job, and I love, love, love that iron. If I had to give up one or the other, I would give up my Aliso and I would keep my Panasonic. I don't know how other people feel about it or what other irons you have, but that's my 2 cents. Chime in, what do you think about irons? Deanna, I love the OESD press cloth. It's like a miracle. And if you get one, I would bind it because it looks like a piece of batting. At some point, you're going to think it is, and you're going to cut it. So, but it was like a miracle. The first time I ever used it, Carolyn Lindsay came in. She had just done a quilting cruise, and it was a product that they used. And what it does is you put your, it's kind of like a wool mat. You put your embroidery down, right side down, into the wool, into the press cloth. And when you press, it kind of sinks it down and spreads the fabric around it, which gets rid of all the puckers. So if you don't want to invest in a wool mat, just get a press cloth. They're like $7. I think they're $6.99. So Renata had hers for 10 years. No, so the topper I used, Janet, was I used the, maybe I should have used, okay. So I'm scared of the iron away topper because you have to have your iron to be just the right temperature. If you follow the instructions, it should work perfectly. But if you don't, like the first time I did it, the topper melts to your iron. So I think it says that you need to use a medium heat. And so I think I just have a little bit of anxiety about that because I did have it melt. But then I used it again with sage and it just like, it balled up and you could just brush it right off. So I tend to use the, like the hydro melt, like the ones that you get rid of with a little bit of water. I can wash the pressing cloth. So, I have a Rowenta at home too that I love. It was expensive. I bought it, I think, before we were distributors. And, it hurts my shoulder. So it's sitting in the closet. So cute. We're almost ready. I don't know if I brought the other blocks with me, like the, let me see. When we trim, I prefer to use a rotating cutting mat. And I don't know where ours is here at the store. Hang on. So I'll trim that out at home. That might be it too, Alice. Maybe it's just the water. And it says if you're not going to use it, I think for like 2 days or something, you should remove the water. And I have definitely left water in my iron for more than 2 days. So maybe that's it. Maybe I'll just have this last longer by just using like a spray bottle of water and not putting water in it at all. I think that's a good thing to point out. And there's our gorgeous block. Autumn is my favorite color and it's beautiful and I love it and it's done. Let's go ahead and put in the next one. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to load the next design. We are going to be doing Good Book. And so let's go home. That's going to clear your screen. I'm going to go into embroidery. The design we want is plaid 3, the 4x6. So I'm going to go to my USB, background quilting, plaid 3. And we want the 4x6 design. 4x6 set. We're going to add to that. And the design we're going to add is going to be Good Book. Good Book. It's going to be this one. Set. And it just says centered. Oh, you know why? You know why I said that? I think, no, I don't know why I said that. Because I did have it centered here for alignment. So I'm not sure what that was. Maybe that was from something else. So this one's going to be centered. I'm just going to check to make sure that's right and that I didn't make a mistake. Good Book. centered alignment. After quilting, go to embroidery. So we're going to do the quilting first. I'm just going to touch the word embroidery. Or before we do that, let's choose our hoop size. I'm doing the 5x7. Okay. And embroidery. We'll move it in this screen. Just layout, move, scoot it up. Oh, let's put our hoop on so it doesn't go out of our embroidery field. Hoop is on. And now I'm going to scoot it up. I mean, that was maybe half an inch we saved. So if you don't do that, it doesn't make a difference. I'm going to say okay. Let's come on over here. I'm going to grab my spray tent. And here's our little pouch with everything pre-prepped. I mean, the prep kind of sucks, right? It's not that big a deal. But how awesome is it when you just grab your little clear folder and everything is set and ready to go? I mean, that's pretty awesome. All right. It would be awesome if Patrick didn't like to mountain bike and he liked to prep fabric, because that would be awesome. And if he liked to do prep videos, don't you think like that would be the best? Here's my bumpy side. That's the side I'm going to spray. If he just wanted to like prep my stuff and then not go on mountain bike rides and then I could just film, that would be like the best ever. I'm going to suggest it. Patrick,
Yes.
what do you think about you prepping my videos and not mountain biking anymore?
I think.
Don't you think that would be awesome?
Want a divorce?
Oh my God, did you hear that? I can't even believe he said that.
Well, that's like grounds for massive change in our relationship. That
I was
wasn't part
just
of
a
the program.
suggestion.
I know.
My goodness. I was just kind of thinking that would be fun for me. All right. This is the color we're going to do our background quilting on here. And so I'm going to look in my handy dandy book and see. I'm not seeing anything that really goes that well. This is warm gray 4. I really think I want like a I don't have all my glide colors, but I bet I have something fantastic, because this is almost like I don't want to say it's like a greenish gray, but it's kind of murky. It's kind of murky. So that doesn't look really good either. What do I have? What do you guys have that looks great? Does anyone have anything awesome? Tell me what color you're using. I don't have my full selection here, which is making me mad. I'm gonna go. Nope. What did they suggest in the book? Let's see. The issue with my book is I'm not. Look at, so they have. Let's see what that color is. So we're gonna turn to the front. Yeah, in the taupes. In the taupes would be great, and I didn't bring that. Meaning they do have a gray, but the only gray in the kit is going to be warm gray. So maybe it was one of these. What are you using? I know a contrasting color would be good too. Contrasting color would work. I might go... I don't see anything I'm loving. I'm looking on the shelf here. It's almost like a grayish. What's this? It's kind of too dark. This is okay. What do you think of that? This is it. Oh, this is Isacord. 0776. Sometimes. All right, this is going to drive me crazy. I'll be right back. I'm going to get some Isacord.
And if that's something that you want to do, for sure.
I just need to reach out to him to figure out what I need to do as far as the deposit. I just have to do the deposit. That way you can order it with the store, because he's like, once it's stored in Arizona, it's fine.
Can you send me an email just kind of outlining things? I can't remember what the cost was. It 26 or I don't remember what the cost was.
Well, so the oak one was 26.
I'm gonna go. Okay, I don't think I have this color. I'm gonna go light sage. And that's my final answer. It is Isacord. Warm gray. So, Curtis, I tried warm gray 4. Should I just do that? It's pretty light. Is that what it's meant to be? Warm gray 4? Should I just do that? Okay. This, I think, is like pretty close. This is Isacord, and it is color 555. And you know what's going to make me mad if I go home and I have that? Why don't I just do this? This is Isacord 776, which goes pretty well. It's a shade darker. Oh, Janet's saying pick out a color that's in the blocks, which there's a lot of different colors in the blocks. Yes, maybe. I know this one is perfect. Just actually, that actually almost looks maybe too green. Okay, if I do a color that's in the blocks, should we just do this one? It has some browns, some like taupey browns, which look like I brought cork with me, but this is one of the taupey browns. Cappuccino. I brought light tan, which isn't in the thread set, and I brought cork. I can't decide what to do. I like to, so at the store, I'll let you like pull it up a little bit, and then that's almost too green. Okay, nothing's making me happy. I'm going to go warm gray. We're just going to go with it and see how we like it. Hopefully, I love it. These are the colors of the fabrics that are in it. And I could pick one of these. This one's the warm gray one, I think. Don't you think? Even this is kind of pink. I'm going to go with warm gray, and that's my final answer. Deanna's rooting for the Isacord. Can I see the finished block? Sure. Let me show it to you. Pick out a fabric. That looks pink, 555. It's definitely not pink. The 555 is definitely not pink. It's definitely more of like a sagey green. But it might be even almost too green. But this is the block. Looks like that. So we'll just go with this, the warm gray. We'll see how it looks. And I'm just going to hope for the best. And you know, if I hate it, I'll go home and just redo it. And then I'll take this block. So what I've been doing, if I do a block that I hate or it's like doesn't totally work out, then I'll put it in the back. Whoops. You gotta hit the thread button. And I'm not even gonna start back at the beginning. This is just a placement stitch. Janet's saying no to 555. Okay. You want your backing fabric and your batting. Go with a brown. Janet's saying go with a brown. Okay, we still have some time to like change our minds. Here is, did I put that up too high? We're going to put that down, and I sprayed this too. So you spray your backing and your batting. Oh, should I go with the brown? Now let's go ahead and fast forward some steps, because remember, we don't need the in-between. This is tack down for the batting. You don't need it. That's placement for the background. You don't need it. You need this one. This is tack down. Okay, so we'll see how the warm gray looks right now. You have to feel it. I do. I need to feel it. Ooh, I'm kind of feeling the warm gray. So here's the warm gray. It's darker than the linen. Here's the browns. Brown would, I bet that would look kind of okay too. The only brown that I showed you that is actually in the kit is the cappuccino and coffee. Oh, here's coffee. This is in the kit. Coffee might not be bad. So there's coffee. Here's cappuccino. I think that's too orange. I think I'm just gonna go warm gray. That one does look pretty good too, though. The coffee. Shoot. I can't decide. It is a little light. It is a little light. I'm just gonna go with it. We'll see. Here we go. Here's the quilting. If you hate it, look away. Okay, other colors you're gonna need. And I'll write this in and then you can use whatever you want. Where's my sheet? I never go for it. I know you guys are like, just decide. Who cares? So I'm gonna write that I used warm gray for the quilting. Warm gray 4. Sure. Yeah. Yay. Okay. Perfect. And I'm going to get my other colors for the rest of this. So it looks like the bookshelf is going to be a brown. So I'm just going to go ahead and use, we'll just write it in here. So the bookshelf, I'm going to use brunette, or like dark gray would work, right? So I'm going to do brunette. That's the brown that I've been using. And then the book, we'll go ahead and use marlin. That's going to be for this. Okay, and then you're going to have this fabric here, which is going to be... I'll use ginger for this. Just decide already. I actually am feeling it. I think I'm down with the warm gray. Usually I choose something I don't like. This looks to me like burnt orange. Where's the... Yep. So we'll use burnt orange to go with the orange fabric right there. All right, we did the quilting. Now it wants us to do the bookshelf. It's saying amber red in there. Do I have a... I'm going to go in here and change this. This is how you... If you want... The reason I don't put the isochord colors, they don't always go. So I'm going to go here. And if you go to page 9, you can put in name of color. But you have to pick your brand. So I'm going to choose isochord. Well, actually, I'm using... Let's see what it says for isochord. Because they don't have glide. We'll just put that in and see what it says. Amber red. That's isochord. So we must have been on isochord. I am going to, for my bookshelf, I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to use brunette. The dark brown. Run the coffee for the placement. Oh, you want me to do the coffee for the placement just to see how you like it? Okay. Coffee. I love coffee. Where is it? Here's coffee. I could do the shelf in coffee. There's coffee for the placement so you can get a feel for that. Okay, burnt orange. Adding burnt orange to my list after ginger. Looks like it has like a pink book, or is it lilac? Okay, so we're gonna have a book this color, which is the tea berry. So I'm gonna add that in. One of the books is gonna be this color, which is kind of like what we just did. So the warm gray. We have a book that's gonna be this dark green. We have the dark green leather. I think I'm just gonna use herb for that, because I'm trying to stick to the thread kit. And then we're also doing the black leather. So I'll either use black or shadow. Maybe I'll use shadow for a little contrast. It says, it shows it. So there's your this is your little chart thing to help you pick your colors. So then we can flip to this page in the very beginning. And they call that dark gray. So I'll use shadow. I think that's, oh wait. Oh well, look, I left that in. So there's the color of our shelf. I meant to change it to coffee, but we'll just leave that in there. That is, I meant to change it to brunette. Was not paying attention. That's okay. Do you think there is going to be a lot of confusion on Kimberbell Day, especially for those that haven't used Zoom? I think they're going to send you a link. So it's not even through Zoom. I mean, do you have to have Zoom? Is that something they said? It's Eventbrite. And I don't know if that's the same as Zoom. Like, I'd have to talk to people. So I think you're just going to have a link. You're going to sign on through Eventbrite. They're going to send you the link to just click, and then you just watch it. So I'll figure it out. I'll make sure that if you do have to have Zoom, that everyone has that downloaded. I have 2 videos to show you how to download that if you need it. So hopefully there's not going to be a lot of confusion. Alice said she doesn't understand why they buy you thread kit. They don't tell you exactly what color to use. I agree. I think it would be nice if it's just said based on the thread kit, and then they put the color. That would be less confusing, right? Especially for those of us who don't want to think. And that's my goal in life, to just not to have to think anymore at some point. So they are, but I think you have to do by reading directions yesterday. So did they send something out, Marlene, that says that you have to have Zoom? You will just be able to watch it. It won't be Zoom. Okay. Yeah, so Janet's saying you're just going to be able to watch it, and it won't be Zoom. Okay, next thing is going to be, and I think we went through our color list. So we are going to do, hope you're okay with my light bookshelf. Let's go ahead and put in Marlin. And we are going to do the first book. Marlin's a great color. It's kind of like darker than a royal blue. The KB could just include a card stating where they use the colors. Yeah, that would be great too. I'll tell Danny. She's my rep. She's great. So, you know, they have done things like, and this is the fabric that we're using. So give it a shot of spray. Use your spray tent. I'm going to lay all my pieces out in there right now. you know, the retailer, and it depends on the project. Some of them they make us still buy, but they were, and they make us buy at retail too. Like the background quilting, they don't even give the retailer a break on that. So, but they have started to, and it depends on the project, they have started to, like, they give us a sample bundle. So honestly, I'm not even sure, like, in the sample bundle, like, what we pay. But, like, you'll see mine is, like, mine says sample or designs for sample, which is nice. So I think, you know, because they'll ask us too. They'll go, well, what do you want? What do you guys need? We were like, well, you know, we have to teach it, make it. Be nice if you included it for us. So I'd say just email them, make suggestions. They might listen. All right, trim it. Oops, that is not close. You kind of have to hold it up at an angle. I don't know if you can see here, but that's not very close. So I'm just going to go back in again. It is worth it. Actually, I don't know what stitch we're going to be using, but if it's the Kimberbell stitch, you want it nice and close. Here we go. Looks like what I call the Kimberbell stitch. Next color up, I get ginger. Oh, I forgot to mention it, Shannon, if you want a kit, I think I have five or six more of the Winter Wonderland kits. I'm all out of the Halloween, but I did purchase some more of the Winter Wonderland one. That was a 2-day event, so it was like $178 for the kit and the event. And so I think the $49 is a pretty great price. All right, next book. This is going to be one of the ginger ones. So I'm going to put my ginger in. If you don't have ginger, you could use, I think, is it called Buttercup? Buttercup, girlfriend. No, it's called Buttermilk. So if you don't have that, you could use Buttermilk. Did I bring my ginger? I'm pretty sure I had it. Here we go. Here is ginger. Whoops. Compared to buttermilk. It's just a little bit darker, more gold. You're working on Wonderland right now. I guess, you know, why not work on Wonderland? It's not like you're going to do all the projects. My favorite was the pillow. I love that pillow. And you know what's really fun? I'll have to see if I can find it. But blow it up. If you have, depending on the machine you have, if you have a machine that has a big old hoop, blow it up because you want to get the piece that's going to be like fatter, shorter and fatter. You have 2 pieces. Short and fat is the one that you want. Although I think you could use either of them. But I'm going to put, and look how much fabric you have. If you want to do multiples of this, just like scoot it over and use the edge. I'm only doing this once. So I'm going to lay down the whole piece, and I'm going to be okay with wasting some. It's part of my therapy. You know what I don't understand about that, Renata? Like when we do Zooms, as the person hosting the Zoom, I can mute everybody. I can like hit one button and mute all the participants. So I heard that too. We did it was like a retailer thing, and there were people talking, and I didn't understand. Like they were like, "Hey, please mute yourself." So I didn't understand why the host didn't just like mute everybody. Okay, beautiful Kimberbell stitch. Next piece that's gonna go down is gonna be, I can't wait for this. I love this quilt. This quilt is amazing. We're gonna do burnt orange. Get your burnt orange. Where are you? Where are you, burnt orange? How, like, if I don't move and I'm still sitting in my same seat and I haven't gone anywhere, how can I lose stuff? Like, where can it go? I find it amazing, right? My skills of losing things are legendary. All right, give me a sec. There is Buttercup, Marlin. Okay, when in doubt, look on the ground. Not there. Burnt orange. Oh, it was behind my coffee cup. Ha 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 ha. Okay, back in business. Working on how big did you blow? Okay, I took the pillow because on the let me see, do I have it here? I'll have to find that sample. It's so cute. Because on the Luminaire and the Solaris and like the Destiny and the Stellar and all of those machines, you have the ability to double your design in size. So I think I just doubled it. I don't know if I filled the hoop. Honestly, I can't remember. But I just blew it up as big as I could do it and made the pillow, and it was like so cute. Then it became more of like a, it was like a toss pillow. Like it was pretty big. You are going to lay down your burnt orange piece of fabric that should be stabilized. How hard would it be, do you think, to add titles on the book spines using a small? I don't think it would be hard at all. I would, pick one of the fonts that are going to be, like, not as busy. That would be so cute, Alice. I actually love that idea. What you want to do, because it's going to be small. Oh, I don't know why I took that thread out, but I did. So I'm going to have to put it back in. You want to, I would just make sure that you use a 60 weight thread to do this stitching, or else it looks kind of globby. It's like mascara. Once you, you just want that, you don't want your mascara to be globby, so you want to use a 60 weight thread, which will make it look more defined, depending on your font. But I think you have plenty of room, and you could totally do it. Now you have some micro fonts, so I would maybe even consider using one of the micro fonts, and I think on the Luminaire and Solaris, there's 2 of them that you could use. Maybe do a little test sample first. If you can get away with using a font that you don't have to use a micro font, do that. And we'll look at it. You know, why don't we, let's do this, and let's add a font afterwards. Let's add some, I think that's a great suggestion. Let's do it. Zoom. Zoom, okay. So I need to send out a note so everyone has Zoom on their machine, their computers. I'll talk to Danny too and just make sure I get all the details so we'll know a week before.
Well, and like I said,
Whoop! How come my thread didn't cut? Did it? It didn't. I'll just hit my cut button again. Put down, hit cut. If your machine doesn't cut, that's a sign that maybe it's dirty. So I can check that as well. Don't know why he's not coming up. I'm just gonna snip him.
well, Jeannie will do, she'll do like a panel.
All right. Next book. What color are we doing next? So that is orange. Now we're going to do another one of the ginger.
So like that's the benefit.
Yeah, I'll have to think about what I can't pour the table with that much out, but
Right. Well, figure out where, what money's gonna be for this difference.
right, exactly. Probably more the table.
Would you embroider first and then place the pieces, piece on straight, lining it up with the placement line? I don't think so. I think I would. If you're saying embroider this first or put the, I think I would do this first and then I would add the lettering. And that's what I think we'll do. We'll just add the lettering. We'll just do something quick. I'll do something. I'm going to put this on next. Maybe we'll put something right here. But I think I would just use my my projector or my camera and just add it. Show me block, please, in book. Cute, huh? That's what it's going to look like. And look at, they definitely didn't use warm gray. I don't know what color they used, but I don't think they used warm gray because mine is pretty light. But I'm okay with it. I think it looks amazing. I did want a darker brown for my shelf, and I just forgot that coffee was in there. But I think it'll look fine too. I like anything that looks like walnutty. Walnut's like my favorite wood color, I think. Okay, decorative stitch. And we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4 more books. So next book. Next book is going to be the tea berry one. Yes, Patrick.
Hey, so the Kimberbell kits that we have left over for the event,
Yeah.
we have both of them?
No.
What do we have?
One of them, I have the Winter Wonderland.
And where is it?
In a box in front of the Kimberbell shelf. The Kimberbell stuff. Woo, Alice, let's do it. We'll do it together. This will be a good little like mini lesson. Whoops. And that's always fun, right? To learn something different. So I think it'll be fun if we go ahead and we'll just add it. And we might just use a regular font. We might just use regular thread too. It might be big enough. Yeah.
Can or cannot watch later?
Cannot. Although I don't get it because the ladies just said it's going to be on Zoom and Zoom's recorded. But I'm pretty sure you cannot. However, I have all the projects recorded and I'll send that.
So she's got, like, this is a redo of projects she's already had.
Threading helps. Did I not hit the thread button?
She goes, I've got all the
Oh, it'll be super fun. Yeah, let's do it. We're going to add something. Should I add, maybe I'll add something about Patrick, my true love. Lila, you do, this is perfect. I'm excited.
Jeannie, these are 49.
49, and just type in Winter Wonderland. I think it's the top option. And then make sure, is this for Margaret? Okay, send me an email so I can add her to the group and send her all the information. Holding it like at a 90-degree angle helps too sometimes. I mean, I do it sometimes, but I think that helps, gets a little bit closer as well. Do the decorative stitch. After this one, we are gonna put down, and I'm gonna do this in warm gray. This is really like the warm gray color. Warm gray 4. Warm gray 4. Janet, what's the climber? What's that in reference to? Is that like a movie I need to watch? Did I tell you folks that everyone raves about Yellowstone. So while Patrick and Kai were gone, I said, Violet, we're going to get Paramount Plus so we can get Yellowstone. And I didn't even realize that Yellowstone's only on Peacock. So since we signed up for it, I went ahead and watched 1883? Which I loved. Absolutely loved. Elsa is my girl. She was amazing. And then I just finished watching 1923. But I'm confused because it ended like, the ending was weird. I go, that was it? So now I'm going to get Peacock so I can actually watch Yellowstone. But I've loved it. So I'll get home, jump into bed, get my computer, answer emails. Alice, it's going to be so cute. He's going to love it. He probably won't even notice. This will be my quilt dedicated to Patrick Mulligan. Okay, 1883 and 1923 and Yellowstone. So, am I confused? Did 1923 end and it just really wasn't? It just was like a cliffhanger, like it just leads into I gotta keep watching whatever happens next. There was no like, it just left it all open and out there. Lots of bad language. I hear lots of bad language too. Sometimes it comes from my mouth. Hi, Miss Linda. Okay, second. So then I have to keep Paramount. I can't get rid of it. Oh, because of the strike. That warm gray is so perfectly this color. That looks so good. All right, next one after this is going to be the black piece and then the dark green. So go get your shadow. I love shadow. This is shadow. All right. I was said there wasn't a second season. Oh my God. All right. So everyone raves about Sam Elliott, and I don't get it. But then what people said was, they were like, you have to see him in Roadhouse, which I think is that movie with Patrick Swayze. So I didn't watch the movie, but I looked up pictures, Sam Elliott, Roadhouse, and I kind of get it. I'm like, oh, yeah, he looks pretty good in that. Like, maybe I get it. Sam Elliott's looking pretty good in Roadhouse. Okay, so this is a big old piece. I am going to put it towards the edge, but I want it to hang over a little bit because this one says trim as desired. And when it says trim as desired, I like to leave about an 1/8 of an inch. Oh yes. Janet, that would be perfect for Patrick Mulligan, my love. I'm going to do that. When it says trim as desired, I like to use my curved straight, which are these. Otherwise, if you use the curved, you get little smile cuts in your fabric, and it's hard to make a straight line. So this is what I'm going to use. I'd recommend you all have a pair of these. Lori, how are you?
Me?
Yep.
Me?
Yep.
Good.
Okay.
I'm doing ribbons.
Yeah, do whatever you need to beautify. That's what I struggle with in the store.
Oh, and cleaning.
Yep. The girls are making the store gorgeous. That sounds like Gail. Looks so good. And I like it being imperfect, right? Like, I like that. Okay, last one is going to be the green one. So I'm going to put an herb. You should have that color, Alice. That's the one I sent you by accident. So it's perfect. You needed it. And I'll send you sage too. as soon as I get it again. Okay. This really isn't, I don't think this is the best color for the green leather, but it'll be a contrast, which is nice. Oh, wait, did I do that wrong? Oh no. This one, the leather doesn't have a finishing stitch. It just has that one stitch, the placement and the tack down. You know, other people have said, so Suzanne Harmon, who works here, loves Sam Elliott. And she was like, you need to see him in Roadhouse. So I think at some point, I'm just going to watch that movie too. Because I got to see, you know, it's one thing to see his picture, which he did look pretty good. But I got to see him in Roadhouse because is he just like, maybe he's just like a badass, so that's why everyone loves him so much. He was pretty great in 1883 too. It's his voice. Okay, trim it out. Oop, want my other ones. And I'm keeping this because this is a big old piece. Like, look how many more books I could do if I wanted. If I was doing another one of these, I would have kept all these pieces and just scooted it over. But this will be my one and only because I got to get ready for Nativity, right? That's coming up. I'm kind of excited about that one. I feel like it looks a little bit different. And I'm going to go ahead and cut those pieces on the Scan and Cut. Give it a go. All right, now it wants like a little leaf on this binding right here. Let's see what color it's showing. It wants the leaf detail. I think it's showing the burnt orange. I'm going to put this back in there. Or you can use one of your browns. The brown would look really, really good.
I love technology, but I don't know a lot about it.
I think cappuccino would look really great. So we're going to put this in, and then we're going to do the dark brown stem. So I'm going to get my brunette. How about a better view, huh? It's a little bit better. And then we're going to do the acorn cap fill and the books, and that looks like warm gray to me. Linda, I was just thinking about how Sage's mom loves a hairy back. She loves Tom Selleck. Not that he has a hairy back. I have no idea. And she always says the hairier the better. Hairier the better. Yeah, Tom Selleck. He sure had his day. And Burt Reynolds. Goat Rider. Oh, so Marlene, I think they're giving away 3 shots to 3 retailers. 3 retailers are going to win the shopping cart. I think it's 3 retailers and 3 just, regular customers. Wouldn't that be so much fun if I won? Then we could just bring it to the store and give it all away. Linda, are you saying ooh about hairy backs? No hairy backs. All right, I'm going to put in warm gray for the top of the stems. The top of the acorn. And we are going to add, we're going to add the name after this because I think we're almost there. Whoops, that did not thread. Let's give it another go. There we go. So this is stitching the book 8 spine detail and then all the other detail. And step number 28, we're not going to do, and it's really not 28 because we've added the other stitching, but the last step, we are not going to be stitching. It says these lines are for design placement only. Yeah, I'm going to channel my inner winter so hard on Kimberbell Day. I'm totally one of those people that goes, I never win anything. I never gamble because I always lose. I can't help but buy a lottery ticket every once in a while. My mom used to. We grew up, like I said, I grew up in Connecticut, and she would do like the Connecticut lottery or whatever it was. And she would always buy a ticket like every Friday. I was tempted to get one in California. Like we don't have the We don't have Mega Millions or any of those here in Nevada because we're a gambling state. I don't know if it's like conflict of interest or what it is, but I saw that it was like 900 million. It's like, wow. So it does give you some special cutting instructions here. So, you know that you want to use your pop ruler, this 4.5 by 6.5, and you want to be a 1/2 inch from the top. That's important because you're going to be adding this later on. There's a couple of tags that you're going to be stitching out and you're going to be adding to the blocks. So keep that in mind, and I will do like a video where I do all the pressing and cutting. All right, that is done. We're going to go ahead and add. You can add whatever you want. I didn't bring my 628 thread, so I might have to go grab something. But once it's done, and we could do these, I would just do them one at a time, and that way you don't have to worry about the spacing and where it's going to go. But I'm going to just say okay to that. This is our stitch out screen we want to add in the previous screen. Return will take you to the previous screen. So just go ahead and touch that. You're going to touch add. And there are your fonts. These are fonts, these are monograms. So these are going to be big, these are going to be smaller. So you have all of these fonts to choose from. And if you look right here, number 50 and 51, these are going to be your micro fonts. But before we do a micro font, why don't we just look at our regular fonts? I'm not going to pick anything that's going to be too thick. And you can audition them after we choose. So I think I'm just going to go with this one. And I'm just going to type in Patrick, my love. So I want uppercase first. I'm going to put in the P. Look how huge that is. This is your chance to change the size. So you have large, medium, and small. You're going to put in your first letter, and then you're going to change it. And that's still going to be a little big, but we might be able to size it a little bit. Why don't I just start with Patrick? So now I want lowercase. A-T-R-I-C-K, and we'll see if we can size that down a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and you can see it's kind of big. I can also go right here and audition the different fonts right now. So I'm going to go ahead and touch that because some of them might look a lot smaller. That, even though it's like a block letter, is going to be smaller. I'm going to try this one. That's okay. Let's try this. I'm going to go with that one. Comic Sans, it's always good. I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to set it. Okay, so there it is. Let's kind of zoom in a little bit more. So why don't I try and put it in, I'm going to put it in the yellow one, which has the acorn. So I'm going to go edit, move. I'm going to scoot it up. This is the one with the acorn. And let's scoot it to the right a little bit. I can always zoom in too. So let's go to 200%. And there you can see it. Looks like it fits pretty perfectly. You could size it too. So we could go up here to edit. And I could hit size. And I could maybe make it a little bit bigger. I feel like I need to rotate it just the tiniest bit. So I'm going to go back to edit, rotate, and I am going to rotate it this direction just the tiniest bit. And I think that looks pretty great. So we can just say okay to that. Maybe we'll add in the climber up here. So I'm going to go ahead and let's touch add. Now that I know that's placed where I want it, I'm going to put it in separately. And font doesn't make a difference because you saw that we just auditioned it. I've never seen my, okay, just looking at your comments, see if there was anything there. So I'm going to put in the climber. There's my T. Look how huge it is. Go ahead and take this opportunity to make it small. And
There's no better time to do it.
the H, where's H-E space. I'm going to go back to uppercase, C, lowercase, L-I-M-B-E-R. Okay, set it. And now we can go ahead. Oh, and you can go back. If I'm looking at that now and I go, you know what? That's way too big. Maybe I needed to check it before. I can go here to edit. You know what? I'm going to leave it first. I'm going to move it up to that spot. Move. Let's scoot it up to the book I want to put it in, which is going to be that one. And I'm going to go back to edit. And this is where you can modify your text. And that's going to take you back to this screen. Let's see which ones are going to be smaller in that space. That one might work. So O2, that's way too big. So O9 might be okay too. That one might work. Let's go. Too big. These are my microfonts. So maybe we do a microfont because I could blow those up a little bit, but I think maybe I'll just stick, whoops, O2. That was the one. O2, okay, size, the whole thing. Whoop, that just did the R. So I want to go back to large. And then I want to say I want it all together at once. So size, I want to click this so it does the whole thing. And let's size the whole thing down. That's as small as it's going to let me do it. Let's check it out and see what we get. Still too big. And you saw that size. It's not going to let me change it any more than that. So let's say okay. We might have to change that to a microfont. So I'm going to go back to text. There's my font selector. I'm going to put this one in. Say okay. Let's set it. Let's blow it up. And let's edit size. Edit, rotate. There we go. You can do spacing. Okay, text, spacing, and it tells you what to do, you know? I'll space it out just a little bit. Say okay. Set. 200%, 400%. That's what it looks like. I'm going to move it down a little bit. Move. There. Love it. And we'll just say okay. Embroidery. Now it's up to you what you want to do as far as thread goes. I'm going to do the first one just with like regular thread, and I'm going to use this green for it to stitch out Patrick. And we want to get to the part, we don't need to stitch everything out. You could change the order too. So we could go return. This allows you to change the order of the stitch out. This is what I want to stitch first. I want this first. So I'm going to move that to the front, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to move that and that to the front. So I want to stitch this first, and then I want to stitch that. That's what this button's all about. So I don't have to arrow through everything. I just went ahead and I changed the order. It's going to stitch out Patrick first. I'm going to touch embroidery, and let's go ahead, and the other thing you could do is change your colors. So it's always going to bring everything in black. The issue with that is if I'm not sitting here and watching, it's going to stitch out Patrick and go straight to the climber without stopping. So the other thing you can do, we're having like multiple mini lessons here. I can go in here to these, and I can change these all to one color. So We'll change these all to the same green. I know this isn't the green that I'm using, but we'll change them all to this. So I'll stitch them all out and leave green, and then it'll stop. It's not going to let me color group because I have a design on top of a design. There's the K and then the climber. We'll do all of these in, how about we do these all in shadow, which is like, I'm just going to choose a dark color. Deep brown. I think I have some thread here that is 60 weight thread, and I'll change it for the climber. For Patrick, I'm just going to leave it. Let's go embroidery, and they're stitching out the P first. So we just had multiple little mini lessons on all of that stuff. I don't need my projector because I know it's going to stitch right there, but if you did want to use your projector just to see it, you need to make sure you're at stitch 0. Even if we were at stitch number 1 or we're into it, if I try to turn on my projector now, knock knock. So you have to be at stitch 0, and now you can use your projector. And now it's going to project it down. There we go, and that's what it's going to look like. Isn't that cute? How easy was that? You can change the background color. If you're having trouble seeing it, you see right here, you can change the background color. I'll change it to black and gray and see if it shows up better. Nope, black doesn't do any better. White is the best. That's going to show up the best. I'm going to put this in right now. We're going to stitch out Patrick, and then we'll do the climber. Wasn't that fantastic, Alice? There's a lot of things that your Solaris can do, and it makes it so easy. Placement is so easy. You can just add, you can use your projector to check, you can rotate and size so it's perfect. If I didn't have that design up, I could have just hit the camera button, which would have taken a picture of everything that's in the hoop, and then I could have done all that same stuff. What do I have up here for 60 weight thread? Let me check. 40. I thought we had some 60 weight thread back here. Let me check out front.
Well, Jeannie, there was, but I don't know where it is now. There was a spool of black fine line around here somewhere that was open, but I don't know where. I don't see it in there. Did you look in
Right.
the little drawers? I mean, I know that's a stupid question.
I'll check the drawer. No, I didn't check the drawer. So that's a perfect suggestion.
Because I'm not seeing it there. It was black. Yeah, I don't know, Jeannie. The last time I saw it,
No
it was
worries.
back here.
No
But
worries.
it was black fine line because I showed it on one of the Kimberbell things for lettering.
All right, I am going to go ahead. We're just going to take our chances. I'm just going to put a regular. Wasn't that great? So your machine cuts jump threads unless it's 5 millimeters, unless the distance between is 5 millimeters or less. So that's why those jump threads weren't cut, but no big deal. We have all those great tools that we can use. I'm going to do brown here. This is just regular glide. I'm going to use the brunette thread, the dark brown. And we'll just learn. If you ever stitch out and it's thick and it looks a little gloppy, that's your cue to switch to a finer thread. But we'll just give this a go. This is going to stitch out the climber. I think this is going to be fine. Now there's a couple different tools you can use to cut jump threads. And I love both of them. I'll go back and forth and think, oh, I love my side hoppers. Oh, I love my OESD little hook scissors. What makes the difference, I think, is using a pair of tweezers to hold that thread and keeping it taut. So I'll see that E would have looked better if I'd used fine line, because you can't even see the little hole inside of it. So it would have looked better with that thread. So what we carry at the store is fine line, and it is a product, I think it's exquisite. I have a whole set of, we sell fine line. You can buy it by the spool. You can also buy a set of it. And I think the set's maybe like $70, and it comes with like 18 different colors. But it's worth adding to your collection. And if I wanted to add more, I could go ahead and add something to this book, and I could add something to this book. Don't forget to go back and cut those jump threads. So you just kind of, this, because it has the little hook, you just put the hook under, cut one direction, grab your tweezers, hold it taut, and then cut the other direction. And it makes all the difference with your lettering, cutting that. There we go. Isn't that so cute? And you want to do the same with all of these. Just cut all of those jump threads. So Alice, I am so happy you made this suggestion about adding titles to the books. Okay, the other thing you can do is you can use these, and these are side hopper, and these are like little feet. And they're going to work the same way, but it's going to make a huge difference using the tweezers and then cutting. Same thing, whichever you prefer. One of the feet, they're a little bit, one of the feet is smaller. One of the feet. Am I saying that right? Sometimes I'm like, am I speaking English? And then you can just cut it like that. So whichever you prefer. We carry both of these, but I think these are all important tools to have in your arsenal of embroidery tools. You need them all. Look how cute. And this E would have looked so much better with the fine line. Cute. Oh, I have one more jump thread. Let's get that last one. Here we go. The climber. Janet, that was a great suggestion too. Because you know my babe. He's a climber. He's a mountain man. There we go. Looks pretty cute, right? And now you know that you have some micro fonts. You know that you can audition all of those other fonts. You don't have to start all over. You don't have to put the font in and go, oh, that one didn't work. Let me try another one. You have those easy, quick buttons that you can just touch. And there you go. Let me see. It's 1:25. Let's start another embroidery. I'm going to tidy up a little bit. We're We're going to start one more. What's next? What is next on the list? The houses. So there's a whole bunch of I feel like I need titles on all these books, don't you? And you could do that later. I could re-hoop this if I wanted and just use the projector. Because you might not have the design exactly squared up with this. So you would just use the projector or the camera and just do one at a time. You have the, you have the ability, oh, you don't have the projector in here, but you have the camera button. So if you wanted to do that, you would just hit the camera button, hit scan, camera's gonna move, and then it's gonna take a picture of what's in the hoop. So you can always do it later. You could re-hoop. It doesn't make a difference if you're hooped straight or not. And then it takes a picture of what is in the hoop. I love the camera because you have contrast. You can turn the contrast down. You can turn the contrast up. You can turn the background off. You can bring it back again. Once you stitch it out, it's going to disappear. Is this save? What's that button? Oh, you can save. You can save the image too, and you can save it to a USB, but I'm not going to do that right now. So lots of different ways that you can get perfect placement, and that you could, you know, just use what's in the hoop, take advantage of projector, camera, all sorts of different stuff. We're going to stop with this one though. I'm going to take it out, and the next one's going to be Golden Hour House. That's also 4x. Let me see if I have enough fabric here. I don't. So let me go ahead and re-hoop into my 5x7. Good call, Miss Alice. I think we all got a lot out of that one. 4x6. Take that out. That one's almost dry. What do we have here? Oh my goodness, are you ladies finding treasures?
Did you ever hear from Mario on that fabric?
Oh, I did. I emailed him. He said it was on back order, and then I just emailed him again last night. He said, what order is that from? So I sent him the order. I haven't even checked to see if he responded. But yeah, I just, like, last night we were talking about it. Who knows? 10 inches. This is for my 6x10. Hang on. Let's do... Just looking for the right size muslin. What is this? 8x12. I don't think I brought any 9-inch with me, so I'm just gonna hoop sideways. And we'll just scoot it over. Because I think this almost fills up batting size 4x6. I think it almost fills the hoop. So I have my muslin, and you can hoop so that your muslin runs down, which is probably going to be better. But I'm just going to hoop so I'm going left and right at this point. All right. What design are we using? That's great to personalize. You could add love story. Lots of great info. I know these machines are fantastic. They're the best. I'm looking for my spreadsheet and my book, and I can't find either. Oh, here they are. Okay, here's the spreadsheet. Golden Hour House. We're going to put in weather 4x6 horizontal. So let's go over here. And I saw somebody ask about this on one of the groups. So if I go home, because I did take that picture, right? And I go back into embroidery, and we add, see the pictures there still. So there's a couple ways. That picture, if I stitched out an embroidery, would disappear on its own. But you can get rid of it a couple different ways. We're going to put this design in first. So weather 4x6 horizontal. Weather 4 quilting. 4x6 horizontal. These are the samples, so I'll probably have only one. There it is, set. So it's on top of the picture that I took. That's not what's in my hoop. That's the picture that I took. On the Luminar and Solaris, you can just go right here into the camera and turn it off. Or I can bring it back again. I'm going to turn it off. If you're on, I think like a lot of the other machines, you have to go into your settings. And there'll be an opportunity here to background image delete. So you can also get rid of it that way. So you have a couple different ways. Either stitch it out. If you have the option here to turn it off, you can do it here, or you can go into your settings and you can delete that image. So I'm gonna just hit close for that. We're gonna add, and we are adding Golden Hour House. And the Golden Hour House looks like, oh my God, that book was so much fun, and it was so fun to combine. That is Golden Hour House. So we're gonna go in here, USB, there's my fallen link for autumn, and this here I think is that's it. You have a couple different houses. It's this one with the little flower on the top. Set it centered. So it's centered already. We're gonna just touch embroidery. This is the page where you can scoot it. Because I'm hooping left to right, I'm gonna take my design and scoot it all the way to the right so I can use what's ever left over on the side. And so my hoop's already on and attached. I'm gonna go layout, move, and I'm gonna scoot it all the way to the right. And since my hoop's on, it's not letting me go out of my embroidery field. We're gonna say okay. I'm gonna touch layout so it shows me what we're stitching. And let's go ahead and we're gonna stitch out that first thing. I have brown in there. We'll just start stitching. And then let me figure out where all my fabric is and my batting, and let's get all of that. Here's all my goodies. There's a piece of vinyl too. If you're gonna be using that vinyl, don't lose it. It's really easy to lose your clear vinyl. I'm gonna spray my background fabric and I'm gonna spray my batting. Sometimes I just look at it. You can see what side is nubbier. This side. Where's my spray? Put that down. Put this down. Love this. I think this is cashmere. It's silky solid, and I think it's called cashmere. We got to skip some steps. So let's come over here. We're skipping the tack down of the batting and the placement, and we're doing the tack down of the background fabric. I'm just going to leave the brown. It's nice to have a dark color to fussy cut. And then I'm going to put in warm gray 4. Can you change size of jump thread? You can change the size of your jump thread. Let me show you where that is. So excited that you showed that. I'm excited that you're excited. I'm excited that you learned something new, because that's always exciting to me. Okay, remember, we can just close this window right here. This button right here, this is where you adjust your tension. I would advise you don't adjust your tension. Before you start playing with your tension, just rethread. 9 out of 10 times, it's going to be a threading issue, and then it could be something where the thread's getting caught. But if you go in here, look, this is your tension. If you do adjust your tension, put it back. So see, changed. Default, black box. You can do this end trim. It's on because it's highlighted. This is your jump stitch trim. And that's 0.2 inches. But that, I think, is going to be like, you know, that's inches, not millimeters. That's going to be your default, which is, I think, 5 millimeters. So you could change it here. You can increase. I don't know if you can decrease. Nope. You can't make it any smaller than the 5 millimeters, which is your 0.2. And I think if we change this in our settings to millimeters, then you could see it. But you just want to leave it there. Okay? I never go into that page. That's like really rare for me. I go in here all the time. All right. Let's change out our thread. Trouble says hi, Jeannie. Oh, Trouble. I would give you a big hug if I saw you right now. Trouble's Cheryl's granddaughter, and she is the cutest. I know you all have cute grandkids, but she's adorable. I think you have every color that you have in this store, so we can special order. Yes. So I don't carry all the glide colors, but I can now order them from Checker Distributor, which is where I get a lot of stuff. And there's some thread companies like Exquisite where I have to buy like 3 to 5 at a time. But with Glide, I can buy them all individually. Sometimes they don't have them all in stock. But if you want to send me a list, I will order everything for you, and I usually order once a week. I never watched Love Story, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Should I watch it? Sometimes I get like, I tried to watch A Star is Born. When the remake of A Star is Born came out with Bradley Cooper and, what's her name? Lady Gaga. I loved it. And I was like, oh, let me watch the original, which had Barbara Streisand and what was the guy? What was his name? Can't remember his name. I watched like half an hour and I couldn't do it. It just was like, I don't think it was that great. I prefer the newer version. So they should remake Love Story. That was like a huge hit, wasn't it, in the 70s? Did you watch it? Was it so good? Yeah. What? Oh yeah. James Brolin? Gail's here, and she said she went with her now husband of how many years? 50 years. They went and saw it together. Was it so romantic? Did it make you want to make out? How cute is this? I didn't even read the directions. I'm pretty sure that they would want the quilting before. Yes, quilting is before, and then go to the embroidery. Let's grab our thread colors and our sheet, our handy dandy sheet. We can add in. So undecided. We're using warm gray, so I'm putting Q for quilting. Warm gray 4 is perfect. And then as far as the thread colors go, the lines, the diagonal lines mean color doesn't make a difference. But I think for the most part, we are going to need ginger. Ginger, I'm using brunette, but dark brown. Your thread set is going to be dark brown. I don't know if I ordered that. I better see if I added that to my list. The window frames, burnt orange. And the window outline, I think, where's my fabric? I think I'm going to go with probably, let's see what's in here. I'm going to go with linen, shadow, and marlin. Looks like shadow and marlin. Okay. How cute is that? Another stitch that I love that I would definitely use again if I can remember it. Like, how am I going to find this? How will I find this? Maybe we should make like a key with pictures or something in a book. I don't even know how I would categorize it. All right. First step. Wants you to stitch the house placement line. Color doesn't make a difference. Because color doesn't make a difference, I'm going to put something neutral. I'm going to put warm gray back in. Because I like doing, when color doesn't make a difference, I like using gray or like, I don't know, something not too dark. And I'm going to get my spray tent and just spray all the different pieces. Here's my spray tint. I'm going to load these in. Make sure you put this with the shape flex side up. And make sure you don't have any dark threads on there that are going to shadow. Don't aquanet it. Just a little bit. A little bit goes a long way. And we're going to go ahead and put down the yellow piece first. And it's saying color doesn't make a difference, so there's probably going to be a satin stitch that goes over this. Then we're going to do the house, the roof part. Get your curved scissors or your snips so you can trim this up. Oh, love story is sad. Oh my God. Okay. Sometimes I like watching, is this bad? Like sometimes I like watching a good old sad movie. Like was it Fault in Our Stars? I've watched that one a couple of times and I just love that movie. Oh my God. And I cry so hard every time I watch it. So I'm assuming somebody dies. I'm going to watch it. Okay, go ahead and stitch. Placement line for the brown roof. Chris Christopherson. Yeah, don't aquanet it. Chris was handsome. I'm more of a Brad Pitt, river runs through it kind of girl. And I love Robert Downey Jr. too. Those are my Hollywood crushes. And I really like Chris Hemsworth. Although he's a little muscly for me. All right, trim it up. Next, I think these are all placement lines. Placement and tack downs. Yep, keep going. Now we're doing the door. Color doesn't make a difference. And then the window, and then we'll put the vinyl down. This one, full stitch out time is 19 minutes. Whoops, not this. This is window. This is door. Is that right? Yep. Did you have long hair back in? I was never an... oh my God. I tried to feather my hair, but my feathers, because of the perm, were like so stiff and like not like feathers. It was like roller hair on my head. It was really bad. And that was, I would say that was middle school, and no wonder nobody wanted to be my boyfriend. I wanted a boyfriend, but nobody wanted to be my boyfriend. And I was the only, back then, you know, now, you know, there's like Asians everywhere. Back then in my hometown, there were no other Asians. So maybe they just didn't like Asian girls. Okay. I went natural. I went natural in high school. So things got better. Why do I need this huge piece for my window? Oh, I get it. Okay, so the window's going to go here and here. So that's why you need the big piece. It has to go over both of them. But still, really, like, I'm just gonna lay it all down. Oh my God, Alice, you have the best ideas. So Alice said she thinks it's a great idea to add either a name or a house number to the houses now that you know how to do it. That's so cute. I could put like Mulligan Home or something. So I'm not going to do it in the interest of time, but that is such a great idea. Just to like personalize it a little bit more. And, you know, how many of these Falling for Autumn quilts are going to be out there? But you can totally personalize it and put your house number, and that just makes it more special. Your house number, or you can make it your home, or if it's going to be a gift for somebody, yeah, why wouldn't you add their name to it? You could add like quilt shop, like you could add so much. That's why I love these sew-alongs. If I was just like, because I get robotic sometimes. So if I was at home just stitching this out for myself, I would be doing it in the interest of time. And I would, oh shoot, should I have cut that? Yeah, they want you to trim it close. Okay, after you do that, we are in step number 9 in your book. So we've done all of the placement of all of this stuff. We're going to stitch the house satin outline. I'm going to put my ginger in for that. But this would be a perfect time to go ahead and add a little detail. Ginger. Here's my ginger. Let's go ahead and put that in. Yes, Alice, great idea. And, you know, I see what you guys make online. I follow a lot of different blogs, and you post a lot of great stuff on our site too. So I know what like incredible things you do. You like add, and Lynn, that fabric that you have chosen for the lining of your beach tote was like amazing. I don't think you could have come up with anything more perfect. Okay, satin outline. This is 2 minutes of stitching. I'm going to tidy up a little bit. I'm going to see what I can get done this weekend. Might be tough because my kids will be gone and Patrick will be gone. I can answer a question. Patrick? Oh my goodness. How cute would that be, Shannon? Like to add little dogs in front of your house or something? Yeah, I think that would be cute.
Jenna,
Coots?
yeah, her
Yes.
husband is here.
Yeah.
I guess we saw her machine maybe when I was at college orientation or something.
Was it the threader that wasn't
The
working?
threader.
Yeah.
Yeah, was she supposed to pay for the threader repair?
I don't
No?
know. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Now, outline of.
I appreciate you checking. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for hooking us up. Of course, man. Well,
I think that was part of her service. I think they're fine, Patrick, because it was part of the service, and for some reason it wasn't like totally fixed the first time. So they're good. That was really sweet of them to check. Okay, warm gray. Look at that. I'm going warm gray. I don't even know if this is part of it, but I am going warm gray 11 for the satin stitch on the roof. Oh my God. Is this because I'm going to die first?
I'm just making sure.
Patrick always says I'm gonna die first because I don't eat as because I'm not healthy like he is.
It's always said in jest. I know that.
Yes, it's always said. We laugh. We laugh. Patrick laughs and I laugh. I laugh too. But this is what Patrick got me for lunch. Does this look amazing? So. This is what, yeah. If he had asked me, this is what I would have ordered. But I love it because it's like, it's everywhere. Like, these are the best nachos ever. I'm like drooling right now. Just so yummy. You're welcome, Alice. We'll see you later. Okay. So it shows it as dark brown, and I think I wrote that in. But I'm going to change it to warm gray 11. That is not in your kit, but it's a good color to have. It's like a dark gray, like dark grayish, like not brown, not gray, but in between. I'm going to add that. Warm gray 11. And of course, use whatever color makes you happy. Sorry, that wasn't in focus. After we do the roof, we're going to do the window frame detail, and I'm going to do that in burnt orange. I know, did that just make you so hungry? Patrick and I need to go get blood work. You know, now that I'm older, I like to check stuff out, but I'm worried he's going to tell me I need to eat differently. That's like my biggest fear is like that I'm not going to be able to eat the stuff that I want. That quilting stitch is gorgeous. I've loved all of the background quilting.
These
So that I had cut for somebody, and
4
then
yards. Do you want me to wrap it up and put it on the clearance side as a remnant, or do you want me to break it down into yard? There's 4 yards, and this is almost a whole bolt, but I don't have any more
okay.
bolts.
So you know what happened to that?
Yeah, tell me.
We spilt something on it, and then we washed it.
Oh, you did. Well, it looks fine to me.
Does it look fine?
Yeah, of course it does. Or do you want
No, like see here.
me- Yeah. So what do you want me to do? Do you want me to put it in a box with vacuum?
Probably.
swell there.
Yep, Patrick did that.
We did.
Yep.
Swell there.
Maybe we just, yeah, the whole thing. I don't know. What do you think we do with it? Just get rid of it. Let's put in our,
Just throw it in the box in case you
Okay.
scrap for something.
okay, perfect.
I think so. Don't, you can never throw fabric. What about this? Rimming it off
Yes.
as
Just,
4
let's
yards or
just do
4?
it. Let's just do it as 4 yards and put it in the clearance.
I will do that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Of course.
All right. What is next? It looks like now we're gonna do the linen, and I think you could do the warm gray as well. The warm gray looks great with all of this. We're gonna do the linen satin outline. I'm gonna do warm gray. I just love that warm gray. So pretty. Warm gray, you are beautiful. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Can you believe I actually remembered to hit the thread button? I feel like half the time I forget to hit the thread button and I just hit the sew button. All right, listen to this. We are getting a Panera. So we have one, and I think they put it in by UNR, which is our local university. And I mean, we never go there because who's gonna drive to like into the middle of a university? Like you have to deal with like parking and all of that stuff. So they're building a Panera, and it is like on the corner. It's probably like quarter mile from us. So I am so excited, and I expect to gain weight because I think it's their hibiscus lemonade. I never drink like sugary drinks really that often. I drink coffee with a little bit of hazelnut and oat milk in it, but I don't really drink sugary drinks. I love that drink, and when I get it, I buy the big gulp size. So, and I know it's all sugar, but I'm so excited because we don't have. That'll be like our first real Panera in Reno, and I love Panera. And I love their lemonade. Okay, after we do the door satin outline, we're going to stitch the window vinyl tack down lines and detail. And it's going to go over the window and the door window. So you're just going to want to make sure that there's no threads down. You're going to want to brush off your vinyl to make sure your vinyl looks good too, and then we're going to put it down. Oppenheimer. What's the Oppenheimer movie? Who's in it? Oh, making me hungry. I think it always turns to food, right? Our conversations always turn to food. Does it have a color? Okay, I want you to stitch the window vinyl tack down with the shadow. Stitch the door satin outline. So we're going to put this vinyl down. You're just going to put it right over here. It doesn't have to go all over everything. Let's go ahead and put in shadow. Shadow. Uh-oh, was I supposed to do the, no, I don't see that. I'm tightening up my thread. I'm looking for shadow. Let's see if I can find it. Where are you? There you are. Miss Lori, you looking for something? Okay, again, make sure you don't have any icky pieces. I think I did one project where I have like one of my hairs underneath it, but I am not. Oh wait, it needs to do the door satin outline too. Yes.
I'm looking at your lunch. No, not really.
Have some.
I'm just
I
teasing you.
won't eat this whole thing.
No.
Have some.
Okay. 3 yard cuts, 3 1-yard cuts. These are half-yard cuts. There's like 6 of them.
So a lot of the stuff in that box is cut for Jingle All the Way, and I wouldn't. Is that getting all mixed in? I would almost. It is.
It's all right. I just want to know, should I put it back here with this?
I would save that stuff because the stuff that's already cut. Don't mix it in because it's already cut for Jingle All the Way or Ginger's Kitchen.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So, can I put it back here like with the stuff here? There's a lot of fabric here.
Maybe grab Jingle All the Way. I'll bring it out here. Ginger's Kitchen. Let's see if we can make those kids that fall out of Jingle All the Way.
You got the stuff?
There's a fabric list. If you look at the fabric.
It's in the book.
Reno will have to print it out.
Jingle All the Way and
And Ginger's Kitchen.
Ginger's Kitchen.
Yeah, Ginger's Kitchen you could grab. Oh no. Oh well. Guess what? I was supposed to do that in linen, but we're going to have a dark door. We're having a dark door and it's okay. Sorry, wasn't paying attention. If I really wanted to, I could remove this because it's pretty easy. Because I want that line of stitching to show, I think I'm going to do the opposite. I will do shadow for in here because it'll stitch in the middle of the satin stitch. And for this, I'll just go ahead and I'll do the warm gray or do linen down the center of that. Or, you know what? It doesn't go down the door. So it's just going to go in the middle of that. I'm just going to leave my shadow in there. Everything is okay. Wipe off the dust. And now let's go ahead and let it do the stitching. Cute. You're gonna trim as desired, so get your curved, I'd get your curved straight scissors out, if you can find them. I've got curved. Oh, these are A1 ones too. Almost stole them. And this is A1. Okay, where are my curved straight? I've got curved straight. Where are you? A1 scissors. Okay, here's all mine. Now I'm going to trim out this vinyl. Let's back it up. I like it just outside the stitch line. Okay, this is going to go back into one of the next houses because I think they have vinyl on all the window. And like I said, I don't pre-cut that stuff because it's just, you end up wasting a lot. So I would just cut your embellishments as you go for the most part. There might be some where it makes more sense to cut that ahead of time, but for the most part, I think it makes sense to just cut as you go. How cute are those windows? Oh my goodness, they're so adorable. The vinyl just makes it, you know? And now it wants you to do, I think it's going to be the vinyl as desired. The doorknob detail, so you're going to still use that same shadow. Doorknob detail. Then we're going to do the branch detail, so I'm going to put the warm gray back in. And then you're going to do the marlin, which is going to be the flower. I love the warm gray. Oh, it's so cute. Okay. We are almost done with this one. Your homework is going to be to complete the rest of the embroideries in section number 2. My homework is going to be to complete 1, 3, and 2. But, you know, it's loosey-goosey, right? Do what you can. I do the best I can. I know sometimes I can't get it done. And then you want the marlin. I'm gonna clean up a bit. Yeah, Patrick climbing the side would be cute. We could just make it a whole quilt dedicated to Patrick. Scissors. Oh, cute. Oh, I know. Are we talking about this smiley face right there? Right there? That's your reminder to always have fun. All right. So, Shannon, I don't know if we had a crumble. I went to a crumble for the first time in San Diego when Violet had she had a soccer tournament down there. And we were like, oh my God, crumble's so incredible. I think they might have one in Sparks. But honestly, I'm not positive. So the last step, it says, do not stitch this step. This line is for design placement only. Remove the block from the hoop. We are done. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out. This is what you're going to work on for homework. You should be working on this right here is section 2. And section 3 and 1 and 3 should be done, which mine aren't. So here's section 1. Finish, press, trim, sew together. This we did this one, and this one. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 more blocks, and then you have the filler blocks too. Sew together. This one I haven't done any of these except for this one. So I really have like 7 blocks to do and my filler blocks and sew them together. Next week we're gonna do section 4. We might do it at the end of the week, and that's gonna give me just some time to like get caught up. I don't know about you. I know some of you are already done. but I'm going to look at the calendar, and if possible, I'm going to shoot to do our next sew along on Friday, just to give myself some time to like finish all the embroidered blocks. And I'll send you a note, or we'll talk about it in the live feed. When we do this, we're going to work on section 4 and borders. We'll see what we get done. If all we do is work on section 4 and then do the following week, do the borders and put it all together, that might be it. I hope you're okay with our loosey-goosey format. Just trying to squeeze it all in. But, I mean, this is what we'll have. I can't wait for these guys. Oh, my God. They're so cute. But I will send you a note. We're going to just stop there, get the rest of your houses done, and then, you know, sew everything, press it all out. As I do these, I will record them and I will post them. Have a great day. Have a great day. Have fun stitching. Get yourself some dinner if you're out on the East Coast, and I will see you tomorrow for our live feed. Let me just check and see if you had any other questions I didn't get to. Okay. Do you bind your instruction books? Oh, I do this. So I bought a binder. It's an Achilles, Akiles, I think like 3.0. I bought it on Goodwill. And I bought it on shopgoodwill.com, and I just looked up wire binder. And then I had to learn about the different size of these bindings, and I always put a clear cover on it. I use cardstock for the cover page, and everything else is a 28 weight paper instead of a 21 weight, which I think is pretty standard. But yeah, I just bind them myself. And I was thinking, like, should I offer binding services? But I'm scared I would ruin your stuff, like if I made a mistake, so that's why we don't. But anyways, I think you can get this done at like Office Depot or something. They'll do that too. But I do love it this way, so everything just kind of lays flat, and then I can add stuff to the